Cry 2 was an incredibly cool open-world game marred by some issues in the basic gameplay. Now, Ubisoft has released Far Cry 3, and they intend to make it a superior game. Have they succeeded with creating a living open world? Far Cry 3 opens with a rich kid named Jason and his friends having the time of their lives on a tropical vacation. It shows them living it up before doing some skydiving over the Rook Islands. Jason blacks out and wakes up in a nightmare. Him and his brother Grant are locked in a cage and both are being tormented and tortured by the villainous Vaas. Grant frees himself and they escape. They are almost on the home stretch and Vaas finds them, shoots Grant in the neck, and Jason goes and a dark, mysterious opening that sets the rest of the encounters with Vaas. There are very few real cinematics and even fewer encounters with the villains. It's not a bad story, it's just really simple. It's basically all told through fetch quest stories, style missions, one thing that isn't really special about it is Vaas himself. It's silly people that you can't help but hate him, but you'll love him at the same time. His encounters are the best scenes in the game. It's a shame that they're boring. The story is the exploration and the basic gameplay is what pushes you forward. Brings us to the gameplay. In Far Cry 3, you are presented with a vast open world to explore, littered with collectibles and pirate outposts to conquer. You move around the world in first person and shoot, drive, and swim your way around the island. Gunplay feels the way you'd expect a shooter releasing after Modern Warfare to feel, and the other aspects are pretty good as well. The main draw is just exploring the wilderness, hunting the wildlife and scaling the radio towers to reveal more of the map. You can find loot chests that hold money and items for sale to earn even more money. Money is used to buy ammo mostly, but you can also add attachments to your guns. Hunting the animal does not burn money like in other games that feature hunting. It's used to craft different items that enhance your basic gameplay, such as giving you another holster for your weapons, allowing you to carry more. The gameplay also offers you the choice of stealth. If you are stealthy enough, you'll be able to take out whole outposts without tripping the alarm. The stealth here is incredibly satisfying and rewarding, offering some encouragement for choosing stealth over brute force. There are also some mini-games scattered around the island, but you'll mostly be exploring or doing the many missions. Missions are broken down into the standard story missions and side missions, and it's pretty self-explanatory. Most side missions are just hunting missions, hunting both animals and pirates. They are pretty entertaining, even if they become repetitive in the end. Story missions are a little different, but usually boil down to some shootouts or some sneaking around. The outposts you liberate in the wild are used as fast travel spots. These outposts are a saving grace that was absent in Far Cry 2. There is a character development system as well. You fight and farm collectibles, you gain experience that allows you to add more pieces of Jason's tattoo, giving him perks such as the ability to silence the enemies. It keeps the gameplay changing throughout the game. A lot of the parts are pieces. The gameplay is nothing special when you look at it, but it's addicting beyond belief, and the beautiful Rook Islands don't hurt either. One disappointing part of the game are the final encounters with the villains. Without spoiling in Far Cry 3 is electronic and fast-paced. This suits the story and the combat encounters well, and the voice work is great. The villains steal the show here, which seems to be common in things such as this, and once again you'll remember Vaas and his boss. Jason just sounds like a generic rich white guy, and none of the other voices are mind-blowing, but with Vaas around, that doesn't matter. The visuals are amazing. The green of the jungles is fantastic to witness, and it looks stunning all the way through, even though there are only very few loading times. The only other game to constantly amaze me the entire game was the original Assassin's Creed. You clamber to the top of the radio towers, similar to Assassin's Creed's viewpoints, and you can see the whole island in its entirety. Even on consoles, this has to be one of the best looking games I've ever played. The one issue, at least on PS3 anyway, is the frame rate. The frame rate tends to dip off, and which isn't really surprising given the size of the game world, but it tends to dip off while driving, making it hard to drive properly, which is a very dangerous thing. The character models don't look the best either. Characters like Vaas look great, but your average grunt looks just about average. They toned down some of the more realistic elements from Far Cry 2, which can be seen as a disappointment. In Far Cry 2, your map was in-game, even when driving. Here, it's in a menu. Not a big deal, but it seems like a step back. Overall, the environment wins out here, and it wins hard. Overall, Far Cry 3 stomps all over Far Cry 2 in the gameplay department. It also looks better and has better systems in place. If you have any love for open world games, give Far Cry 3 a try. Vaas is one of the best villains in a game, and the open island is a sight to behold. It's beautiful, brutal, and dark all at the same time. Grab a gun and fight back against the pirates. Vaas steals himself an 8.5 out of 10.